Nobody expected the biggest scandal in women's basketball to start with one sentence. But the moment Ajay Wilson opened her mouth and made that now infamous comment about Caitlin Clark, something snapped across the entire sports world. Overnight, the most decorated star on Team USA went from untouchable to the center of a firestorm that fans claimed was built on jealousy, mixed messages, and a twisted version of events that exploded far beyond what anyone imagined. Social media painted her as the villain. The locker room was suddenly on trial, and rumors spread so fast that people began asking the unthinkable. Did Ajay Wilson really get pushed out of Team USA because of a lie she allegedly told about Caitlin Clark? It didn't matter that nothing was confirmed because the backlash had already taken a life of its own, and the avalanche that followed would shake Team USA's reputation in a way nobody saw coming. The strange part is how quickly everything escalated. One moment, Ajay was doing a routine interview, talking about media pressure and how newer players were getting attention that veterans worked years to earn. It wasn't even directed at anyone specific, yet fans instantly connected the dots and insisted she was calling out Clark without using her name. People clipped the interview, added captions and edits, and within hours, the conversation had mutated into something way bigger than the original quote. Fans began accusing Ajay of twisting facts, misrepresenting private team dynamics, and trying to paint Clark as someone she wasn't. None of it was verified, but the internet didn't care. A narrative had been created, and once it started spreading, it couldn't be stopped. Behind the scenes, more rumors surfaced. Reports claimed Team USA practices weren't as peaceful as everyone assumed, with whispers of veterans feeling threatened by Clark's popularity and fans insisting that certain players didn't want the spotlight shifting away from them. Some posts even alleged there were disagreements about Clark's role during scrimmages, with suggestions that not everyone approved of how quickly she was rising. Again, none of this was confirmed, but the way the internet amplified these stories made them sound like absolute truth to millions of people. What should have been a quiet, internal conversation suddenly turned into a nationwide debate about ego, influence, and who really controlled Team USA's culture. Then came the rumor that took everything to another level. The claim that Ajay Wilson had lied about Clark's attitude in private practices. Nobody knew where the rumor started, yet it spread like wildfire. People began saying Ajay exaggerated comments, twisted situations, or tried to humble Clark behind closed doors. Fans reposted these claims hundreds of thousands of times, believing them entirely, even though not a single official source confirmed a word of it. A narrative formed that painted Ajay as manipulative and desperate to hold on to her position as the face of women's basketball. It didn't matter that the story had no solid foundation. People were already convinced something shady had gone on. That's when the public backlash erupted. Hashtags demanding Ajay be removed from Team USA began trending. Fans accused her of undermining unity, ruining team chemistry, and dragging personal frustration into a space where athletes were supposed to represent an entire country. Some even said she should apologize publicly or step down. In the eyes of the internet, she had crossed a line even though nobody could agree on what that line actually was. The idea that she had been fired wasn't something Team USA ever stated. It was a storyline created entirely by fans reacting emotionally to speculation and internet drama. But the louder the conversation became, the more people believed it was real. Veteran players unintentionally added fuel to the fire. Every time someone made a vague comment about hype, media bias, or rookies needing to earn it, fans instantly tied it back to Clark. Discussions about respect suddenly felt like thinly veiled shots. Every glance, every quote, every social media like or repost was dissected like a crime scene. People decided the veterans were jealous, threatened, and bitter about how quickly Clark took over the basketball world. Whether that was fair or not didn't matter anymore. The narrative had momentum, and Ajay Wilson sat right in the middle of it. Meanwhile, Team USA's silence only made things worse. They didn't issue statements, correct rumors, or set the record straight. That vacuum created endless room for speculation. Fans said the silence proved Ajay had done something wrong. Others insisted leadership was covering up internal tension. Some even suggested certain players were protecting each other. The absence of clarity allowed the story to morph into something even bigger, and people began demanding answers. Every time the team released unrelated news, the comments were flooded with accusations and questions about Aja's influence. As the noise grew, so did the pressure on Aja. She went from one of the most respected athletes in the league to someone constantly questioned and criticized. Fans posted comparisons, calling Clark the future and Aja the past, even though both athletes were having incredible seasons for completely different reasons. That's the power of a rumor. It reshapes perception, even when reality tells a different story. And as much as Aja tried to stay focused, the online storm refused to slow down. At some point, the conversation shifted from simple criticism to a much deeper question. Did Aja go too far? People began rewatching old interviews, searching for hidden meanings, and trying to connect moments that probably had nothing to do with each other. Any expression, pause, or joke was suddenly treated as evidence. In the eyes of fans, she wasn't just competing for respect anymore, she was being judged like a public figure on trial. When the internet decides someone is guilty, they rarely get a chance to defend themselves. The irony is that most of the drama was built on anonymous claims, unverified posts, and assumptions. There was no official firing, no confirmed betrayal, no public conflict that matched the scale of the outrage. But perception can be more powerful than reality. The belief that Aja lied about Caitlin Clark became more influential than whether she actually did. And once a story gets that big, good luck stopping it. People weren't watching to understand anymore, they were watching to confirm the conclusion they already believed. In the end, what happened wasn't a firing, it wasn't a suspension, it wasn't even a punishment. What happened was much more modern, much more chaotic, and much more damaging. A public opinion meltdown, a narrative shaped by fans, not facts. A perfect storm of misunderstandings, emotions, and timing that turned a superstar into a lightning rod overnight. Whether Aja was right, wrong, misunderstood, or misquoted almost didn't matter. The internet had made up its mind long before the truth had a chance to speak. And that's the part that should scare every athlete today. Because sometimes, the biggest downfall doesn't come from a loss, a bad season, or a real controversy. Sometimes it comes from a rumor, repeated enough times to become a legend. Aja Wilson learned that the hard way, and Caitlin Clark, whether she wanted it or not, became the center of a narrative that neither of them fully controlled. The only guarantee now is that this drama isn't going away anytime soon, because once a story reaches this level, the world keeps watching just to see what happens next.